And please welcome Urmila Chadayammuri from Nature.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, put your hand up if you have ever wanted to be an astronaut. Yes, I thought so. In fact, in the last ESA call for astronauts, there were more than 22,500 candidates, right, of whom just over a dozen made the cut. And we are very fortunate to have one of those people here with us today. Matthias Maurer will be joining us on stage after a couple moments. And we want to talk today about, well, what is it that fascinates us so much about going all the way up there, but also what it takes for us as an international community of individuals, very committed individuals, scientists, researchers, HR personnel, international collaborators, educators, to get this to happen. How do we work on these ambitious projects together? And we're going to have a really enlightening perspective from an astronaut right here today. With that, let's get started with a little movie of Matthias's experience in the Cosmic Kiss mission recently.
Next up is European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer.
Vielen Dank.
Welcome on Earth.
Thank you very much.
So let's get started. I find it remarkable the number of different scientific experiments that you carry out in space. You are a scientist by training. Can you tell us a little bit about your personal research background?
So I'm a material scientist by education, and when the wall came down, I was actually doing a civil service also as an ambulance driver, and this means like I have specialities in material science, but also later on I worked in the development of medical disposables, and this covers a lot of the research areas that we are doing currently on the International Space Station. We do a lot of material science development. We are having, as humans, being research subjects as well, but we're doing also like fluid physics, chemistry, and biomedical experiments in space.
It's really remarkable. How do you go through this process of experiments being proposed? How are you trained to perform such a variety of things up there?
Yeah, so here we come to a point where a lot of people believe astronauts are superheroes and that we are actually the scientists who develop this stuff. No, we are just like the technicians. The smart people are you guys on the ground. You develop that stuff, hand it over to the space agency, in our case to the European Space Agency, send it up to space. And ideally, it's you with the space experts have developed a procedure that is fail-proof so that we don't mess up your experiment.
Have you ever messed up an experiment?
No, but this is actually the biggest fear of an astronaut. It's like there's so much research and so much time spent in the preparation of an experiment that, like for some people, it's almost a decade that I have worked for an experiment. And so once it up is in space, we as an astronaut think like, okay, I absolutely need to make sure that I don't mess up a very important experiment.
So a lot of mental power, a lot of focus, don't mess up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another thing so you're cooperating with the scientists on Earth who have, on the ground, so to speak, who have developed these experiments, designed them meticulously to make them as fail-proof as possible. You're also collaborating with all the other astronauts in your crew. To what extent, in fact, do you think the selection process has to do with your technical skills versus your interpersonal skills and ability to live with such a diverse crew of people in a small environment for an extended period of time?
Yeah, you touch on a very important point. It's the social skills of an astronaut is actually the one that is most decisive during a selection process. Especially, I mean, we as Europeans, we don't have our own access to space, so we're always like either flying with the Russians or flying with the Americans. I also trained in China because at a certain point in time we were looking forward to flying to the Chinese space station. And so you need to be open-minded. You need to be prepared to learn different languages when you want to become an astronaut. And you also need to be aware of the cultural differences. And so different people from different cultural areas tackle the same problem on a different way. Mm-hmm. And this can be so enriching, but if you're not aware of this, it can also be kind of a block to a useful or meaningful cooperation.
Mm-hmm. Just a moment to brag about Matthias' skills. You speak English, obviously, and Deutsch, and Französisch, and Espanol, yes, and Ruski, yes, and Ruski. Mandarin. And
Mandarin I learned, yeah. It's like saying speaking, it's like I learned all these languages and I don't even speak perfect German, I have to admit.
But do these come in handy on the ISS?
Yes, it is. It is. Like speaking languages is really important, and it's an enabling factor.
Mm-hmm. So, and you've also studied, trained, and worked in a lot of different countries. Can you tell us some of the places that you've been and the sort of cooperation that has enabled this?
Yeah, so I was very lucky that I could participate in different studies in Europe. So first was like as an engineer, I wanted to learn English, so I studied in the UK. And then a new combination studies was offered to my university, material science, a European degree. So allowing me to study also in Spain and in France, having also to do international training in Latin America. After my studies, I was also in Korea. And then later on, during the astronaut training, I was in Canada, in Japan, also in China, and in the US and Russia.
That is so many places. It makes International Space Station, it gives a whole new layer of meaning to that. I'm just curious, during your education in France and Spain, was that pre-EU or post-EU?
That was already in the EU.
That was in the EU. Yeah, so that definitely facilitated your ability.
It was when the UK was still in the EU.
Right.
Good old times.
Right. Yeah. Great. Now, scaling back a little bit, back when you were still in Germany, you are from Saarland, is that correct? And I actually found it really fascinating that you come from a family of mining workers, isn't that right? So how did you get it into your head that you could go all the way up there, 400 kilometers above the biosphere, really, where humans have barely been? What was that? What is this path to your envisioning this dream and the steps that you took to get there?
Yeah, so I come from a rural area, and there is it's very far away from NASA, from astronauts, and so what happened there is at that time was during the Cold War. We had lots of jet flying, practicing like dogfights at very low level, and so I thought like, wow, being a pilot. Having a look at the Earth from the third dimension, this must be fabulous. So my dream was to fly and to become a pilot. I never thought that I would become an astronaut. Actually, it's like I limited myself in dreaming big. I thought like astronauts are superhumans that live in the US. And so I saw them on TV and I thought like, this is so far away, don't even start this dream. And I think
Space or the US?
It's like in the US. It's like, don't even start this dream to become an astronaut because that's only possible for Americans. Yes. And so it's the biggest burden or the biggest obstacle of like getting closer to this dream was actually my mindset. And this is my key message to the kids. It's like Europe happens everywhere and the future happens everywhere, even here in Europe. And you need to dream big. Only if you dream big, you can make your dream come true. So my dream to become an astronaut only happened when I was an adult. I came back from work in the evening, I switched on the TV and I saw in the news the European Space Agency is looking for astronauts. And I was already like 37 at that age. And so
is
I thought
that the age limit for applying?
Exactly, yes. Exactly. It's like in Europe you can only once in a decade you have the chance to participate in an astronaut selection. So either you're selected or the dream is over. So it's a once in a lifetime chance.
And you went for it. Yes. Oh, wow. We have so much time. I'm so excited. Okay. So now we can dig into the juicier details. So the Cosmic Kiss mission. How long were you in preparation for this? What is the story behind it? And also, why is it called Cosmic Kiss?
Yeah, so a spaceflight mission, a long-duration spaceflight mission usually lasts for 2.5 years of preparation, 3 years. Depends a little bit on like all the elements that you need to train for. I had some additional elements because I was preparing for a spacewalk with the Russians on the Russian side and also with the Americans on the American side. So you need to learn 2 different systems. That makes the training a little bit longer. The Cosmic Kiss name of my mission is a name that I chose, and it expresses like the declaration of love to space. When people ask me like, why should we fly to space? ESA gives you a justification, which is like, if you invest €1 into space, you will get back €2 as an economic benefit. And people look at me and think like, really? I never got back €2. So it's like, this is an explanation. It might be economically correct, but it's not appealing. It's not, it doesn't like throw people off the chairs and say like, yes, let's do more space. So it's like, I want to motivate people by the dream. Everybody of us has this dream to explore areas that we haven't seen yet, and flying to space, flying to the moon as the next destination, and then going even further to Mars. And then this huge universe, there's so much to discover. Actually, 95% of all that out there, we don't even know how it works. And I mean, imagine all the dreams that can come true, all the science, all the knowledge. It's just fascinating. And so that's why we need to fly to space.
Okay. Admission, I did not want to be an astronaut. I'm an astrophysicist.
I have a deception for you. I believe you are an astronaut, because everybody of us is an astronaut. We all live in space, and we kind of tend to exclude, we tend to think of like Earth is not part of the universe. Because when people tell me like he's been to space, I'm like, you have been to space. We are in space right now.
That's amazing perspective. However, something that you said in another interview that I found really beautiful was that your first moment of looking at the Earth from space, you described the atmosphere of the Earth as like a delicate soap bubble that was wrapping the Earth, and that everything that had ever happened in the history of humanity had happened within that little bubble, right? We did not evolve to withstand cosmic radiation, right? We did not, you talked about, maybe you can tell us a little bit about all the things that are peculiar about living in space that the body is not designed to do, and how your body adjusts while you're there and when you come back. And also another thing that I think we forget, you are sort of a master of perspective, right? Astronauts are masters of perspective in this sense. You see things from a different scale. The ISS is about 400 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. The moon is about 400,000 kilometers away from the Earth. Mars, right? I mean, like, so can you just talk a little bit about this? What are the things that you mentally, physically have to get used to when you're in space, and how would these things change as we get more ambitious and think about missions to Moon or Mars?
Yes, so when you prepare for a space flight, you train a lot, you try to understand everything that might happen, can happen, and how everything works. And so in your brain, you are fully prepared, you have everything understood. But then you fly out to space and you open the window shutters and you see for the very first time planet Earth from space. And that's a moment that gives you goosebumps. It's just like within the blink of an eye, you understand everything that you've understood in your brain, also in your heart. It's so emotional. It is, you see planet Earth, a blue marble, and that's the place where humans can live and thrive without any additional protection like a spacesuit or a spacecraft. It's just a perfect place. And then around planet Earth, there's just black, cold, black emptiness. And you think like, wow, there's nothing, there's no plan B. Not that I can see it from there. It's like everything is down there. Everything belongs to this one planet. You fly around in 90 minutes. So like every day I see 16 times the sunrise and sunset. And then you see a volcano eruption, and the huge smoke that comes out of this eruption goes half around the planet, and you understand, okay, this might, if things like that happen even stronger, this might affect the climate. And it's not only on that place where the eruption takes place, but also on the other side of planet Earth. So our planet is an entity. It's a spaceship. It's the best spaceship that we have with 8 billion astronauts, if you want to be an astronaut or not. And we as astronauts in space, we know our spaceship only works if we work as one crew, as one entity. Mm-hmm. And then you look down at planet Earth and you think like, what are you guys doing to your spaceship? It's just like, we need to tell them like, work together. It's like, stop killing yourself, stop destroying your spaceship, work together. There are enough challenges that we need to tackle.
Yeah. We are coming to the close of our conversation, so couple last questions. What are the walls that you would like to see falling down when it comes to space exploration and when it comes to transferring knowledge that we accumulate on space missions on Earth?
So I want us to look not only horizontally, but also up to space. Space is the next domain that comes really, really of importance. In the past, only professional astronauts could fly to space, and so it was limited to space agencies. But now we have a democratization of access to space. More people can fly to space, and it's not only for research. We will also start production in space. So medical components, medication tests can be run in space. People are also dreaming of creating organs in space, so that could help people on the ground. But then also high-quality optical fibers that are 1,000 times purer than optical fibers that we can produce here on the ground. And so this might help for computing, optical computing, but also for medical components for analysis. But then Also, we heard about the energy needs for AI. Some big companies are actually investing in space to bring data centers up to space, because there you can produce the energy, solar energy. You have more intensity. You have it 24 hours a day. And also the vacuum of space, it's cold, so you also can have already the cooling included. I'm not sure if that is the best way to go forward. I like saving energy much better. But it just, like, these are some small examples to illustrate that space has so much to offer, so many chances, not only on science, but also on economy. And we need to be prepared and need to like take up the challenge to conquer space, yeah.
Yeah. Matthias Maurer, everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Urmila, you left one question open.
Ah, yes.
What did you have for lunch in space?
Well, it's like you get space food prepared, but sometimes you have a special day with a special dish. And so I wanted to make this an endeavor, my mission, where a lot of people can participate. And so I had my common people from my fellows from Saarland region to select my space food, so that I had a little bit of like my home area back in space. So yeah, that was a very delicious homegrown space food.
Now, probably the people would like to know how looks food from Saarland when it comes to space.
It looks like Berlin food in space. I believe it all looks similar.
Klaus will show us wonderful Saarland food in space.
It's a can. It's a can. Or it might also be a pouch. So this is space food, and you just need to warm it up because we don't have a kitchen in space. We don't cook there. We just eat the stuff that is good for 3 years. It's been prepared on the ground, and it tastes tasty. If you have no alternative.
Some of the food in space was left over. And we asked, why can't we have it? And so if you wish to, you can have Saarland food from space now for lunch. We had an argument, should there be a free choice for you or not? And the minority prevailed, saying you should have a choice. So when you come down, you see a picture, and we may see it now up here as well. Can we have the picture, please? Yes. So you can opt for the line of the, as you know, the line is the real place to be. The line of the Thule are exciting, cool people. They line up for this. And if you are in the other line, you are very welcome as well. So enjoy your lunch and see you back in a couple of minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Dankeschön.